Assalamualaikum. Hi. Okay, today's lecture is going to be a following, of the previous lecture on unstructured data. But for this lecture session, we're going to be covering on how to model unstructured data on NoSQL database, right? So this is the lesson objective, right? First of all, what is the difference between relational modeling and NoSQL data modeling, right? So when we're modeling for relational, typically it is driven by the structure, by the structure of available data, and the main design theme is what answers do I have. When you say what answers do I have, it is basically figuring out what are the entities, the attributes of the entities, the relationship of the entities. We don't really think about what kinds of queries that people will or users will actually post. In contrast, would be the NoSQL data modeling, which is typically driven by application-specific access patterns, right? For example, the types of queries to be supported. The main design theme here, what questions do I have? So the trigger for NoSQL data modeling are questions, right, instead of answers, as compared to the relational modeling. If we were to use relational, we would have something like this. I'm sure you can identify this as the so-called bridge of a many-to-many relationship between person and contact detail. In document NoSQL, right, the modeling would look something like this, where all of those different entities in the form of information or attributes and properties will actually be put in a single placeholder. Right, this is called embedding. So please remember, a whole document, to identify a whole document would be the pair or a pair of curly braces, right? What you need to do is to retrain your relational brain. Alright, for example, if you have a car that you want to model, for relational, what we usually do is that we pull the informations apart, and it becomes bits and pieces which are then joined together when a query is posted or sent. This is not how NoSQL works. NoSQL simply store the information about the car in a whole. Alright, it comes as you are. There are numerous modeling techniques for document NoSQL databases, but the common ones are these four. Basically, actually, it's just referencing and embedding, because denormalisation and heterogeneous collection are pretty specific. Let's take a look at the first technique, which is referencing documents. The gist or the core of referencing documents basically is actually alike the normal joins, but it's going to be slightly different in the manner that it is doing the joins. Hence, it is called referencing instead of joins. Take a look at this example. On the left side, you have a document on session. And the session name is document modeling, and as we learned last class, the green letters here, the green fonts here, speakers, that is an indication of a what kind of data type is that, where you have square brackets. I hope you got the answer right, which is it is actually a list. The data type is a list, which does not exist in relational databases. So if you look closely inside that list, you will see two pairs of curly braces, right? Two pairs of curly braces. So what does that indicate? That should indicate a list of documents. right? The first document is having the key ID 1 and the second one is ID 2, right? So when you're doing referencing in document NoSQL, you simply store a list of documents which contain the ID of the document that you are referencing to. Okay, so if you take a look at on the right side of the screen, you will see ID 1, okay, is referencing a document with the name Ryan, and ID 2 is containing a document, okay, it's actually a document containing the name David. So when do you use referencing? These are the three conditions whereby referencing documents can be beneficial. Let's take a look at each and one of these. The first one is a one-to-many relationships, and as you can notice, there is inside the bracket something called unbounded. What does unbounded here means? It means that, okay, the number is unlimited. So have a look at the code here. Okay, this example, you have a single document, okay, indicated by the pair, that single pair of curly braces, the outer pair, okay, and you have, let's say this is like a video lah, okay, it's like a video with the ID T1, and the description of the video is modeling document databases, and it has a list of tags, right? The yellow fonts here shows another property or another name value, okay, known as comments. So that comment, okay, that comments here is actually a list of documents, right? Because you have the square bracket at the outer side, and you have multiple, you have actually 99,999, okay, pair of curly braces which indicate 99,999 documents, okay? So the logic, okay, we know that YouTube videos, there is no limit to the comments that can be posted on that YouTube video. Therefore, since it is limitless, so it is known as unbounded, right? In this case, what happened is that, okay, if you were to put the comments inside this document of the video, this document is going to grow very large, and then what happens is that when you want to access the comments, okay, you have to traverse a very large, okay, a very large document. This is not advisable, because it will take more time. So what do? We use a referencing, okay, to split or to remove the comments from that YouTube or the video document, okay? So you have something that looks like this. So my question here is that how many collections are there? Okay, how many collections are there? If you answered 2, then your answer is correct, okay, because the first collection is the video, right, and the second one is the comments. Okay, remember again, a collection in NoSQL is equivalent to a table in relational databases. So if, let's say, we were to model this according to relational, we would have one single table containing the video and another table containing all of the comments, because you should remember that one table could only contain the same kind of instances or records. And please also remember that a single row or record in relational databases is equivalent to a single document in NoSQL. Alright, so there should be 2 collections here. Okay, one is a collection of videos, another one is a collection of comments. In this, with this design, accessing the comments collection or accessing the comments document will be faster because it can go directly to that document which contains the comment, yeah, instead of having to traverse down a very huge document, yeah. Okay, the next one, okay, the next situation where you should be using referencing is when you have a many-to-many relationship. Okay, this is showing a breach, a superficial breach. Okay, this is not the correct way of doing it in NoSQL. If we were to just map relational to NoSQL, it would look like this, and therefore you will have two joins here, which is not good because I hope you still remember, okay, joins are expensive, so we want to reduce joins as best as possible, okay, especially for NoSQL. So what we do is that for NoSQL, if we were to have a many-to-many relationship, we would design it like this. Okay, look closely. There are actually 4 documents, and each document has a name value of a list of documents, which are actually a list of references, referencing the document, okay, that is related to it. So each and one of this document contains the referencing, right? Unlike relational, where you only have a join from the primary entity to the foreign entity, okay, in NoSQL, a many-to-many relationship can have referencing from multiple directions. So you can reference by speaker, and you can also reference by session. Therefore, this is a strength of NoSQL which makes it very fast. And also, it is able to reduce the number of joins into half. Okay, because just now, okay, we had 2 joins, now we only need a single join. Okay, the last one for referencing would be differing volatility. What does volatility means here? It means the number of time or the frequency of edit that is conducted on a single data point. So let's take a look at the example here. You have the white fonts and the yellow fonts. Okay, the white fonts, you can see clearly that, you know, we don't really update it, we don't need to update it that often. But the yellow fonts, okay, it will be updated very frequently based on how much people or viewers like this video. Therefore, the yellow fonts has greater volatility as compared to the white fonts. So in this situation, you should always do a referencing. Alright, so you pull out the likes, okay, and then you will have, how many collections are there? I hope you answer 2, because there are actually 2 collections here. One is a collection of the video information, another one is a collection of the statistics of likes and hearts. Okay, there's a correction there. Okay, the session ID here should be T1 instead of S1. Okay, so that it is referencing back to the video data, video document. Okay. Alright, moving on. We're going to the second type of technique, modeling technique for NoSQL document database. It is known as embedding. Okay, what is embedding? Embedding is where you actually put something into another, just like the Russian doll. I hope you know this, the Russian doll. When you open the outer doll, you see a smaller doll inside it, and you open that smaller doll, you see a smaller doll and a smaller one and a smaller one until to the very end. So that is a very pure or classic example of embedding. Okay, so how does embedding looks like? In this example, you have a single document, okay, on a session, right, as indicated by the outer curly braces, yeah, and inside there you have a name value known as written as speakers, and this is actually a list of documents once again. But unlike referencing, the innermost document is actually a full document with its own name value. Oh no. Okay, with its own name value. Okay, with its own name value. As you can see, name Ryan, okay, name David. All right, so we don't simply just have or contain an ID to a referencing document, but we place the document, or we embed the document inside this document itself, the session document. So when can embedding be advantageous? So there are 4 conditions or situation, and basically these 4 conditions are the opposite of referencing, because embedding is the opposite of referencing. Yes, let's take a look at each and one of these. So when 2 data items are often queried together, this is a clear indication that you should embed them together. Okay, they should put them together as an embedding, okay, as an embedding document. So here, okay, the example is about a book, and the book has covers and chapters, right? So what is a book without covers and chapters? It's not possible, isn't it? Because the chapters make the book. Okay, so in this situation, whenever a user or a reader or a customer is searching for a book, almost always, okay, it is always that they are looking for the chapters, information about the chapters. Therefore, this should tell you that these 2 information or data should be placed in an embedding. Okay, the next one is when one data item is dependent on another. Okay, when it is dependent on another. So when you take a look at this example, you see an order, and the lines there means the products, okay, or the items that is within that order. Okay, so the items itself is not possible to have to be on its own, because, like, for example, monitor, price 200, quantity 50. Who's purchasing this? You need the information of the purchaser, which is inside the order. Okay, so the lines or the items, okay, are dependent on the information of the order. Only then you can actually charge the customer and get money from the selling of this monitor, keyboard, and CPU. Right? So in this situation, you should always use embedding. The next one is when the relationship is simply one-to-one. When it's one-to-one, okay, just simply put it into a single document, embed it. Yeah. And lastly, when 2 data items are having the same volatility, okay, you should embed them together. Okay, this is an example. If you perform a normalization on a document, right? So you need to have 2 reads, one reading the session, another one is the speaker, and you need to do like a join or referencing. But in this situation, if you were to denormalize it, you can embed the information of the speakers into the session. Okay, and you need to query only one place, and there are no joins related. Okay, these are the differences, okay, between normalization and denormalization. With normalization, you need to do multiple reads, okay, and it doesn't align with instances, and it provides faster write speed. Okay, writing, yeah, not reading. With denormalized, it requires updates in multiple places, but it provides fast read speed because it's just one place. Yeah. Okay, this is something very very special, known as homogeneous collection. Okay. Well, oh, not this one. Okay, sorry. This is usually we have homogeneous collections. Okay, most NoSQL database providers believe in homogeneous collections. Okay, one collection per data type. However, there is something called heterogeneous collections. Okay, whereby inside a single collection you can have multiple data types. Like for example, you have a document on speaker as well as a document on session. This is only available in Microsoft Azure. Okay, where they believe at Microsoft that a collection should be containing heterogeneous documents, just like an object. But so far all other NoSQL database providers do not think so. They believe in homogeneous collection. Alright, that's the end of the lecture. Okay, we're done. What I want you to do is to think about, okay, to give a thought or example of a one-to-many, okay, a one-to-many referencing of documents. Okay, and another one is an embedding of document. Alright, I want you to give your answer on island, each and one of you, by the end of this class. Any questions you can post over at our WhatsApp group. Okay, and I'll see you in the next section. Have a good day. Assalamualaikum.